Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest today here in the Just Acting Up show, Havilah Malone. Give her a name.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for joining us. Good morning to you, bright and early like the orange juice.
Yes, great morning to you too.
Thank you so much. Now, I have to give you your flowers early, right now. I have to give you flowers early because when we look for guests to come on the show, and we look at, okay, what have they done and everything, and doesn't matter what level, if they just starting off or whatever. But then when we look at your, I made this expression when I looked at everything. I was like,
I know, right?
man,
It was a lot. It just kept
amazing.
scrolling. Wow.
Yeah, simply amazing. So I have to give you your flowers with everything that you do right now.
Thank you.
ma'am.
I appreciate that.
Thank
Funny,
you.
that was always a concept that my mom would have, is to give people their flowers while they're living. Because, when after it's over with, then that's not for them, that's for you. So give it to them while you can.
Ooh, I like
that. I'm gonna use that on somebody.
when they gone, it's not for them, it's for you because you getting the.
I'm gonna use that on somebody. I'm gonna use that on my son today. Or put that on his mind.
Boy, wake up, boy. Let me tell you something.
Well, let me tell you something.
Oh my goodness, it's too funny. So before we get started, okay, Curse, you're a Louisiana native, right? You from Louisiana? Born and raised on the playground where I spent most of my days. Okay, I'm sorry, my bad. I really, don't.
Yes.
Heavily don't mind me. I'm silly. So, Louisiana native. So let's talk about this. So, can you share with us your humble beginnings and what got you started on your journey?
I was born and raised in. I tell people New Orleans because unless you're from Louisiana or the South, you may not know where Kenner is. However, Kenner is basically fly into New Orleans, you are flying into Kenner. So I gotta give you that little reference. But I was born and raised there, and I think the arts, the need to communicate efficiently, has always been in me, even from childhood. Like I grew up in a very strict religious household as well, and so a part of our outreach to the community was, giving like public talks and like knocking on people's doors.
Wow.
Wow, that's what's up.
Yeah, so it was like, being able to communicate and to share a message was always something that was in me. And so when I was in high school, I was actually part of a junior league program where we would try real cases in court. So all of our defendants were found guilty of their crimes, and we would argue sentencing before the judge. And I loved it. And my initial thought process was I was going to go to law school and become a lawyer. And as I really contemplated right before going off to college, I'm like, you know what? I can go to law school and become a lawyer, or I can just play a lawyer on TV. So I was like, I think that kind of encompasses both the things that I enjoy and love into one. And so I started college when I was 16. I actually wanted to go to UCLA, but my parents were like, you too young and too naive to be heading halfway across this country by yourself. Like, no, ma'am, find something local. And I ended up going to the University of New Orleans. And so I got degrees in dramatic arts and communications, and a minor in psychology, and, continued to have my career has spanned through different aspects of the entertainment industry and through the television industry. So I've had the privilege of learning a lot of the behind the scenes aspects and being able to have experience there as well as being on camera. So it's really served me well throughout my career.
Love it. Beautiful.
That's what's up. What has been the best one of your favorite roles so far?
Well, I guess, I have to say two. one, because it was a fulfillment of my childhood dream of playing a lawyer on television. So that was my role on HBO's Insecure in season 5 as an attorney. So I think that was like a culmination of that, childhood dream then come true. So like it was a significant moment for me to be like, you wanted something, you put that signal out to the universe, you did the work, even got off the path, because I had done a lot of other roles outside of being a lawyer. And then to come back to, being like, wait, this is one thing I haven't done yet. Like I need to give some energy and intention to that. And then being able to literally book a role that was doing it. So it has a spiritual and manifestation power significance to me, that particular role. But I also loved playing a police officer on NCIS New Orleans, because the arc of that officer, like I got to do a death scene, and that was so emotionally taxing. And so to be able to connect with actually the feeling of dying was so deep for me. So I really enjoyed being able to have the opportunity to go there.
Right.
I saw that on your demo reel too, and I was going to ask you, so because I haven't done that yet. With it, like it's a fake capsule, I know that they put in your, and they, because I was saying, I'm like, oh man, because I was watching you, I was enjoying the reel. I'm like, man, yeah, she's really good, and I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, no, no, I was like, no, I'm enjoying this scene. Let me see.
Well, it wasn't a capsule, but they created some concoction and they poured it into my mouth, and so then I just released it, bit by bit as we were doing the scene. But yeah, that was a bloody mess by the time we were done.
Oh my gosh, man. It was a great scene, and I understand, like you said, it feels good to, see that you can go to that level with your acting and everything. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So let's step away from acting real quick. You are a motivational speaker. So what sparked your interest in this? Yeah, what sparked your interest in doing this now?
I think it was because of my own personal journey of looking to heal. Like I said, my career has brought me down some very unique paths. Out of college, I ended up, I worked in news for a while. I worked for Fox News there in Louisiana. And after I think 2 years of working in news, and every day it was like a rape or murder or fire, rape or murder or fire. And it was just kind of like, you know what? I don't think this is really for me, because every day I'm feeding my mind and feeding my spirit with this, and it's becoming almost like nonchalant to me. Like this is just like normal, and I don't want to feel like these type of things are normal and not have, any kind of emotional reaction to them anymore. So I was like, you know what, news, no, not me. And so, I actually kind of left from the world of television for a while, and I went into corporate America. So I was, at the age of 21, I was running $160 million technology business for Hewlett Packard. So I was running a 4-state territory. Now they found out about my television experience, and then I ended up becoming their spokesperson on the Home Shopping Network at QVC, and things of that nature, like selling products on air. But in that time, I worked for HP for nearly a decade, doing work for them. And in 2012, because of the economic downturn, our entire organization ended up being laid off. And in that, and I think a lot of times people go through struggles in life where they go through huge, significant changes in their lives, or directional changes. And it could seem like it's a bad thing, but it ended up being the biggest blessing in disguise. Because had I not, and I feel like God has been trying to like tell me, Havilah, like it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to go back to the roots of what you wanted to do with your career. And I was like, no, I ain't letting go of this good job.
Right.
Right. And then of course all my family and friends like, girl, you better not leave that good job. So, you have all those influences, but it's like when you're called to do something, sometimes we got to get pushed out of the nest to be able to go about doing it. And when the layoff happened, I had opportunity. I'm like, you know what, I can, because I got offered another position within the organization, but I was like, you know what, I could keep doing this, which I actually wake up every day and I'm depressed. Like, it's a great job, great money. I have all the trappings of success, but I wake up depressed. And so it was like, you can keep on going down this path, or you can use this as an opportunity to decide and figure out what you really want to do with your life. And so I delved into personal development. I started working. I went to a Tony Robbins event, Unleash Your Power Within, where you like walk on fire, because I had seen this Oprah special where she went to his event and had all these breakthroughs, and she walked on fire. And I was like, one day I'm gonna be doing that. One day. And it was literally 9 months to the day. And I was at that same event, walking on fire, having those breakthroughs, and it opened up a new part of me. And so I went to do all this self-development to be able to heal me and to heal from my past traumas that I hadn't dealt with. But it also gave me tools. And I'm the kind of person that if I have something that's of value, I want to share it with you. Like, I want to make sure that you have what you need for your journey as well. So then I started talking about it. And then because my communication background, and I'm really good at communicating, like, that just continued to grow. And I was getting on bigger and bigger stages and traveling around the country and even doing like international gigs of being able to share these tools for people to be able to help themselves go to their next level in life. And like, we have to grow, like, we have to keep going and growing, and why not do it together?
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm motivational speakers. First thing that people look at is like, what have you been doing? 'Cause you be a motivational speaker, like you have to look within a person, or what they've been through, and then you're like, oh, okay, they've been through a lot. Because a lot of people, you think that you done been through a lot, but it's somebody that have been through a lot worse.
Yeah.
And I love talking with people like that, and that inspires me to keep going.
Yeah, you
Um,
realize how connected we are. And just because maybe some of the details of your story are different from the details of my story, at the core of it, we
it's the
all deal with
same.
challenges, hurts, pains,
Yeah,
disappointments, and they just show up in different forms. But at the end of the day, we have the power to change ourselves and how we choose to perceive these things that have happened in our lives. And so
right.
it's really about just taking our power back and stepping into the place where, you know what? Yes, I was, sexually molested as a youth. Yes, I have been rejected by family and friends. Yes, these things have happened in my life, but that doesn't define who I am.
Right, 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 absolutely. Yeah. Growing up when I was a kid, I didn't have my father around. I thought I was the only one. I'm the only one. But then as you get older, you realize what it is, and it makes you feel a little better. Like I wasn't the only
Yeah,
one at that
you're
time.
not alone.
So
You're not.
not alone.
And
Yes,
until we
ma'am.
share our stories, and that's why I think it's so powerful what we do, even as actors, because we get to tell stories that people connect with and then see themselves and like, wow,
Right.
they went through that too. And look at
Yeah.
how they handled it. Look at,
Yep.
I wouldn't have even thought to do it that way that they're
Yep.
portraying it in this particular show or in this particular movie. And so we get to show people what's possible for them.
Absolutely.
Inspiring. We haven't checked. I don't have where my Bible at. She that's a whole that's a word right there. I'll take she did say she a motivational speaker. Then she did say that.
Yeah, she did say
She
that. She
did
did say that.
yeah, man. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh. So let's talk about this real quick. You have multiple number one bestsellers. Rewriting a New History is one of them, for example. So I guess with there you go.
There you go.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
She's a writer. Okay. She has the proof. Okay.
There it is. There it is. That's beautiful. I love it. So I guess, that goes hand in hand. So, tell us, what inspired you. I guess that goes hand in hand. Yeah, inspired you to write the book. So yeah, tell us about that.
Certainly. So the very first book that I wrote was actually called How to Become a Publicity Magnet in Any Market via TV, radio, and print. And this came about because of my background in television, and then also having a background in business and corporate America. Many people would ask me the same questions over and over and over again about, like, how do you get a message out? How do you reach the masses to be able to, influence them in a positive way with what you have to share? And so after having those conversations so many times, I was like, there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way to share this. And so I was given the suggestion to, why don't you write a book? Like, put the information in a book. And I was just like, but I'm not a writer. Like, I'm not an author. Like I didn't see myself in that light because I had never done it before. And I think that is the biggest misconception we have in life, is that we need to be some expert in something. But it's like, you can't become an expert unless you start to do it, unless you actually get the experience by doing. So I ended up like hiring a managing editor and working with a publishing company to be able to bring that information and put it into a book format. And then once it was done, it was like, whoa, I am an author. I am a writer. Yeah, exactly. And then it was like, and it also opened up this space within myself. I'm like, I have more to say. I have more to share. And it's time for me to, now it took a while between books, because sometimes we could even go right back into that place of fear, thinking like you're not good enough, or like, do I really have enough to be able to put into another book?
Right.
But a really great opportunity opened itself up. So this is the second book that was released, called The Amazing Adventures of Oliver, Young Napoleon Hill. So this book is actually in collaboration with the Napoleon Hill Foundation. And for those of you who are familiar with Napoleon Hill or not familiar with him, you need to get familiar with him. He wrote the 1937 classic Think and Grow Rich, which is one of the top 10 best-selling books of all time. Has created more millionaires than any other success philosophy in history. And so this is the children's version of that book, so that our kids, for the first time in history, have those principles of success that they can build as a foundation in their lives. And so this was a huge accomplishment and honor for me to be a part of this, because I've always seen myself as the love child of Napoleon Hill and Oprah Winfrey. Like, that's my real mom and daddy. Like, for real.
I seen that one clip I saw Oprah in that one clip when you had the glasses on and she's right there talking to you, and you were eating something, and it was funny too because I was like,
I was Oprah.
Yeah, that's I was like that's Oprah, but it made me laugh the whole time because I pay attention to detail. Like, I'm that type of friend to where, like, if you got a booger in your nose, I'm gonna say, "Hey, come here, let me talk for a minute. Hey, you got a booger right there." It's like bungee jumping out of your nose right now. I'm saying like that because I want to be expressive to get you to understand. Like, that's how it looks to me. So go take care of that. And so in your clip where you were talking and when you was eating, I can't remember what it was, but it sounded delicious the way you was acting it out. And you was eating, and it was like a crumb right there on your lip. And when it flew on the other homegirl, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, man, look, man. Love you, we cool, you inspire me, but you're not finna just sit there and talk and just have your stuff.
Your food debris spilling everywhere.
Oh my God, yeah, that was so much fun. Because hey, even superstar, international, inspirational gurus and media moguls have their moments too. So
yeah. Oh my gosh, and it is, and it will go viral with the quickness too, with how it is now. Oh my gosh, so
that's funny.
You stay so busy. So, like, what are the what's your downtime? Because you got the acting, motivational speaker, you write books. Like, what do you do just to relax?
To
Because
have
that's what
fun.
we said. We relax. Because I'm trying to travel more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I so there's a few things that I do that are enjoyable activity. First of all, what I do for work, I love. And so even though yes, there are pieces and components to it that feel like work sometimes, but overall, I am in a very happy, joyful mood because I am doing what it is that I love. So on
Hmm.
top of that joy, I also do things that are, relaxing. Like I love museums. Like I took one trip where I spent 9 days like exploring the Smithsonian, like and going to every single museum, there.
Hmm.
And so like museums, especially like natural history museums are like my jam. Um, I love reading. Like matter of fact, my goal for 2022 was to read a minimum of 2 books a week, and for my own, and
Nice.
I read stuff from like quantum physics to it's all like personal development or like spiritual enlightenment, like that kind of stuff is really what interests me. So those are the
Hmm.
type of books that I read. I also, one of my favorite things, so on Wednesday nights I go, and this is sometimes I do it as an artist date for those of you who are familiar with The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. So
Hmm.
sometimes I do it by myself, and then sometimes I invite friends. But I go to Dave and Buster's, and I love playing games. Like I love, yes,
That's what's up.
I'll
Hey,
go maybe
David
have.
Buster's a top golf. Which one is better?
Wait, you said what? Wait, what's the
Top
question?
top golf or David Buster's?
I haven't been to Top Golf.
You never top golf is pretty good. It's all right. It's
Oh,
all right.
is it here in California too?
I don't know.
Yeah,
They have one in
I,
California too, right? I
I
mean,
believe it's California.
Okay, well I'm gonna have to find that then. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I believe. I mean, if it's one here in Houston, I'm pretty sure it's a top golf in California.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to look that
Yeah,
up then.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cause see, I got so good, and also because because I was going on such a regular basis, the employees at the Dave and Buster's like they helped me to understand like which games like paid out the most rewards, like kind of
Hmm.
how the system worked, and so I
Yeah.
had gotten enough reward points to win an Oculus, like the 3D glass, the Oculus. So I
yeah.
have one from my Dave and Buster. It was like 130,000.
Oh my gosh, man. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're a gamer. That's cool. What's your favorite game? I know we're getting off topic, but what's your favorite game?
Okay, for points, my favorite game is Spin the Wheel for points because
Okay.
I can track the wheel thing where I can hit the 1,000 points like
I got it.
my favorite game for just like pure enjoyment, just fun, is actually the Connect Four basketball game. Because I'd be like,
That's
like
fun.
Steph Curry with it. I mean, all right. Okay. Okay.
I be getting them MJs up in there. Look,
Hmm. Hmm.
If I
Okay.
if we roll up to LA, we hitting up the Dave and Buster's. I'm challenging you to it. I'm challenging
done,
you.
done and done. Look,
Straight up. Oh my gosh, that is too fun. I love that. So
oh, it actually is funny. My
yeah.
other favorite game, Dave and Buster's. There's this board, and it's like it lays out flat, and you go fishing. And so you're trying to catch like the fish that are like swimming by, and like some
Yeah.
fish more, are more points than others. But there's also like a shark that's like protected by all these other fish. And so like to be able to get the shark, or sometimes this jellyfish comes out of this like tank, and then that's like a bonus. So every time I've hit the shark or hit that jellyfish, like I just go crazy.
Mm.
Yeah. The only game that I played that I was successful at was in the casino and on the boat where you gotta put the key inside the hole and then like some money will come out. you know, like the little key things, like you gotta match up the key patterns and then it turns and
Oh,
you
I've
know,
never seen a game like
yeah.
that. Well, I
And
don't
then
know if it was
it
a
depends on
casino.
like the money. Yeah, well, that is in the casino, so
Like
because
the real
they got
game,
some real
right?
dollars in there. Yeah, like
Oh,
this is $100, $50, this that, and the top one was like $2,000. But
Oh,
yeah, so you know that was my first time ever winning that amount of money, and then I took it and went in my room. I said, I'm done.
hey, good for you that you had the ability to stop yourself instead of being like, let me keep going, let me keep going, let me keep going.
oh yes,
Yeah.
Jerry Koferman. Straight up. Oh my gosh. So, quick question:
Hmm?
how does it feel knowing that you helped over 2 billion people with I call it the power of positivity? How does it feel?
Oh my goodness. Like that, I feel is my life mission to
Yeah.
be a catalyst for positive change in over 2 billion people's lives. And
Yeah.
I know that I cannot do that alone. And
Yeah.
so it's about being able to help the people who help others. Because when you give them and empower them with those tools, then they get to affect the masses. They get to go affect their community groups. They get to go affect their families. And then that becomes a generational growth process. And so to feel connected to a purpose that is that big, it gives me so much, I don't like joy, elation, but it just gives me a feeling of like fulfillment. Like I am here for something that matters. And what I do will live beyond me. And like that's powerful.
It's very powerful.
That's what's up.
Love
That
it.
is what's up.
Love it, love it, love it, man. That's beautiful. I love that you sharing that too. And it brings me to one of your quotes. Um, I love this quote I saw. It says a lot of times the situation that people would consider to be bad, our challenges, our adversities, defeats, layoffs, breakups. Um, and you go on to say we're actually blessings in disguise.
Yes.
Hmm.
So share what you can share. What is a recent challenge that Havilah came out as the victor? What's a
Mm,
recent thing that happened?
whoa. Okay, so I had a big challenge.
Mm.
So I mentioned earlier about coming up in a very strict like religious background. It was something that I was born into, believed wholeheartedly, lived my life in accordance with. And as I continued to get older and just had different experiences and different exposures, my belief and choice of spiritual beliefs continue to shift and change and kind of morph beyond that box that I came up in. And so within that belief system, it's like either you're in or you're out. And being out means that everyone associated with that organization will no longer like talk to you, deal with you, like you get like literally like excommunicated. And so the beginning of this year, I finally made a decision to stand and live in my truth. I'm like, I can't continue to promote to people, to share with people about being fully in alignment with themselves if I'm not fully in alignment with myself. And so I chose to officially, cut ties with that organization so that I can pursue my own spiritual path. But that also meant that I lost my family. And so they, cut me off as far as like communication. And so that was extremely challenging and hard. And I think for years I stayed close to that association because I didn't want to lose my family because they are extremely important to me. But I'm like, I can't live my life for someone else. Like, we all have been given this gift. And if we don't use it for what we came into this life for, then what was the purpose? So,
Hmm.
that was a hard decision and a hard outcome. However, I'm grateful that I stood up for me and am going down my own path of discovery and living a life that's true to myself. So um,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely, there is a blessing in disguise in it all, and I know that because of me now making that decision to live in my truth, I'll have more to share with the world and more from. And you mentioned earlier, Mike, that how do you listen to somebody try to inspire you who hasn't been through anything? Well, guess
Exactly.
what? All of the experiences, they are the things that we've gone through and are able to rise above. And then you're able to share with people how they can do that in their own life. And I think there's a lot of people who are struggling to live their life authentic to them as opposed to doing with their family or their friends or religious leaders or government authorities or whoever is telling them this is who you should be and how you should be, as opposed to going within and listening to that intuitive guidance and choosing for yourself.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely. I have a good friend of mine. He was a guest on the show. We grew up together. Maven Gray, shout out to Maven Gray. And one day, I seen him go through a lot, like a lot. And that's like my brother, like, blood couldn't make us even closer. And I remember he said something so like, I mean, it was just it came in full circle. He one day he made an Instagram story where he said that he asked God a question. God, why I went through all this? Why me? And then he said that God answered back like, why not you?
Mm,
And you know, it was like, whoa. And he shares he's the only person that I know, because as men we're so prideful and we think that if we don't have it together that makes us less than a man. I can honestly say that Maven is the only man that I know that don't mind sharing what he done went through, and it may be embarrassing, but he don't care,
amen.
you
Amen.
know.
That
And now I can I honor him,
mm,
you know, because all his life ever since we was kids is like he went through a lot. And to see him where he's at now is like he's really a walking testimony.
mm.
So
Oh my goodness, I love that. It's like we were taught a lot of times, and especially within the Black community,
Yeah.
that vulnerability was weakness.
yeah,
However, vulnerability is strength. And it's like we are able to learn from and grow from when people shed all of the BS and they show us the rawness, the realness of an experience and how they dealt with that experience for good or for bad. Like that gives us an insight into what's possible for us. And we're like, wait, I've been going through something just like that. And I didn't even know I could deal with it in that way. I didn't even know I could look at it through that lens that you're
right,
sharing with me, that you chose to look at it that way. So like being able to be open, like that's the people who we want to follow, that we want to get instruction from, that we want to get inspiration from. Because it's like, dude, you are real and I feel you because I have gone through that too. But I'm
right,
just doing it in a closet by myself and in secret, where you're being open and honest and vulnerable and helping
right,
so many people in that way.
right, right.
Man, Havilah, thank you so much for sharing that.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, and I know that was a lot for you to. Well, I don't know exactly what y'all went through, but I know that during that time when you went through that, I know that was a lot, and so I'm just grateful that you shared that with us because that's something that can really help somebody that watches this podcast. So thank you so much for that.
My pleasure.
Just healing, man. Like I'm about to, like, man,
Yeah.
healing's like, man, yeah, man. Yeah, but couple more questions and then we'll let you go. Uh,
Certainly.
what is the one role that you haven't done yet that you want to do?
Mm. Okay, so there are two. So I'll talk about one of them is to join the MCU, so the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I am very open to becoming a supervillain and also a superhero, but definitely being a part of that family of characters and stories. Like it's very near and dear to my heart, and like I will be working with them. So.
Absolutely. And we just talked about that on the show that they done mapped it all the way out to 2035 and 6 and said, hey man, y'all gonna run out of people. No name people, no people, y'all gonna run out of people. So
Hey,
just come on down and
oh,
just check us out. We
yeah,
right here.
I would love to see that, and it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen. I can already see it now. The Marvels, you never know. Hey, as she dances, as she's talking about, yeah, love it, man. So
Absolutely that, and then the other one would just be so to expand because of course HBO's Insecure like went to the fifth and final season, and so that show is no longer in production anymore, and so to be able to step into the role of a series regular as a powerful prosecuting attorney on an extremely successful television series, that is also definitely like a done and done.
yeah, that would be dope. I would love to see that too. I can see it too. Well, you said that you wanted to do, yeah. Okay, I love it. I
We
love
want
it.
to expand on that, yes.
One time, but let's take this character and do some whole different type of. Yeah, that works. So
Now it
let's.
would have been cool. I was like, those two would have been wrapped up in one. Had a what's the Marvel character who's the attorney? The Hulk, Mrs. Hulk
She-Hulk.
or
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. Yeah, exactly. I was like,
That would
dang
be.
it.
Dang it.
That would
God
be.
dang it.
Yeah, that would. I mean, hey, they doing it now, so hey, man, you already know that she gonna be in the movie some kind of way. So go ahead, y'all slide a little on hand. I mean, just she fits right on perfect. Just slide her
That's right.
in. I love it. Oh my god, that is too funny. I think that's an easy transition right there. Hey, I mean, it
Exactly.
just makes sense.
Like two birds with one stone.
It
Done.
makes sense. There we go. You can check that off of your vision board right there. That works.
There's no way you heard that idea first now. Okay. Go, okay. Point to it, James, so they won't
Yeah, yeah.
forget. There you go, bow.
Just act it up.
There you
Look.
go, bow. I don't want to wake up one day and I realize I be damned.
I could have
There they,
been on that.
I swear to
Havilah, you supposed to tell us about it.
somebody gonna listen to this man. Oh, this is a good idea. Oh man, you heard it first.
Oh my gosh, man.
If they look, where two or more come together. Look,
That's right.
done and done.
Done deal. Oh my gosh. So, last question. What would you like to accomplish before this year's over with? Only a few more months left.
Actually, 92 days to be specific.
She on point. She on point.
Right.
Do you count the days to Christmas? I'm about let me let.
Yeah, do you count the days to Christmas? Because I used to do that. When I was a kid, I used to make up a calendar when it hits like November. October actually. I used to make up a calendar and I scratch it out.
Oh my gosh.
Well, mine was it's 92 days till the new year, so it wasn't till Christmas, but to the new year.
No, okay, all right. That's the big kid in me then.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna get it.
No, I don't get nothing.
I don't get nothing. No, I don't. I woke up. That's my gift.
Yeah, that's
my life.
gift.
Right.
That's my gift. Oh man.
Yeah, but what was that conference? Yeah.
So in this last quarter of the year, it's interesting because as I was doing my morning pages this morning, I was writing out, I was like specifying like, and these last 92 days of the year, I am actually in the process of building out my plan for 2023. So just doing a lot of research right now, building a strong foundation on like the courses, workshops, things that I will take, because I am in the process of writing some series, scripted and unscripted series, to be produced in 2023. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now, is just building the foundation, getting all the pieces of the puzzle together so that I can execute it flawlessly.
Cool.
Love it. I like. She was right, quick to the point. This is my plan. I'm sticking to, like, she right on. Man.
Yeah, man. Time don't wait for nobody. And then, according to many
she right
scientists, time to speed it up. Lord have mercy.
Oh my goodness. Oh
I think
man.
it boils down to one, knowing what you want, like getting super clear about that. And I think sometimes we even need to just like step back and take some time to get the clarity, because you can want like a lot of things, and that's fine, but what are you going to focus your energy and time and attention on right now? And so getting clear about that, and then it's just formulating the plan of how would I go about accomplishing it? Well, who's already done it so that I can use that as a model? And then what is required for me to be able to do it? And so you literally just map out the plan, and then you got to take action, and it'll happen. Like,
I love, we gotta get you a commercial like that. Like it'll happen. And just like,
Yeah, just model out a plan, and it's going to happen.
oh my
Exactly.
gosh, that is so dope. I love it. Havilah, you have been a joy. Thank you so much. Where can we follow you at?
yeah, certainly. I'm on all social media at Havilah Malone. So that's HAVILAHMALONE. You can also, if you have like specific questions or things like that, and you want to reach out or to book me for my, attorney role or to be a part of the MCU, then you can reach out to me at ask@havilahmalone.com. And I love to hear from people and, interact. So reach out.
Love it, love it.
Cool.
You go, ladies and gentlemen. Many blessings to you and everything that you do. I'm looking forward to see what you do next. Thank you once again.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you all for doing this and sharing these stories. I think there's a place for it in the marketplace, and we need more of our stories being told. So thank you.
Thank you. People keep
Yes.
telling us that too. Thank you. That feels so
Mhm.
man, this has been a spiritual healing type of thank you. Oh
Yes,
my
it has.
God.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.